I didn't know was coming is here. I didn't know that's what's going to happen. It's happening. And if you're watching this on replay, you don't even know what I'm talking about. But I didn't go live for a couple of days. We're live right now. So as y'all are checking in, if you don't know what time it is, check your smartphone. We are here. We give everybody a minute or two to check in. No, not a minute or two. 30 seconds or 40 to check in. Then we're going to get right into this. As y'all checking in, go ahead and leave a comment. Shout yourself out in the comment section. We're going to get right to what we need to get to. Yi Zhao came in immediately off the top with the comment. Ago9, what's going on? Deep Wave, what up? As y'all checking in, shout yourself out. I'm going to wait like 30 seconds. I got a couple people shout themselves out. We're going to get to it. Facebook. If there's anybody here on Facebook, honestly, don't always be giving me all the information. Y'all can check yourselves in Facebook. Periscope. You watching this on Periscope off Twitter? Shout yourself out in the comment section. Now, the comments on Periscope disappear. After they show up, then they disappear, and I gotta like swipe up to see it. But as y'all checking in on Periscope, go ahead and shout yourself out, and I will shout you out real quick. Then we're gonna get into this. We're getting started in 15 seconds. Arvin from Toronto checking in. Live from the gutter, Mozart Gates checking in. As y'all checking in, go ahead and shout yourself out. We're gonna get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Devin McCall from North Carolina on Facebook. It's good. So everybody, those who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. I'm a former 9-year professional athlete. I'm the author of 27 books. Yes, you heard me correctly. 27 books, including this book called Work on Your Game. And I created this whole philosophy that is called same name, Work on Your Game, same name that's on my hat. It's all about taking a pro athlete mindset, the tools that you need to succeed mentally in sports. And to be a professional athlete, you got to be in the top 1% of what you do. So if you want to learn the mental tools of being in the top 1% of what you do in the sports world and how those tools apply to business and life, and what I suggest you do is turn the volume up on your device, put your device on silent mode so you don't get no text notifications or whatever app send you a notification, none of that. So you can pay attention to what I'm about to share with you right here, because every time that I go live, I'm giving you a different topic from this whole Work on Your Game philosophy. Sometimes it might be sports related, sometimes it might talk about social stuff, sometimes about business, sometimes about branding. It could be about anything. I don't know. I just decide what I'm going to talk about because I'm a professional at doing this. So that's why you should turn on your, whatever you got to do to make sure every time I go live, you're there and you know about it. Do that right now, or when this is over, do it. So that's what we do here when I do these lives, just in case anybody didn't know. Now I saw a couple, turn the music down. So I saw a couple people left comments here or questions. Listen, when y'all come in, I will address all questions and comments at the end. So I'm gonna go through this. I usually talk for this is gonna be like 15, 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna take questions at the end, all right? So that's how this works every single time. So anybody post something, I'll take them in order that they came, but at the end of this. So the topic here today is the thing that people crave. And those of you who are, if everybody's part of somebody's audience, like I have an audience, but I'm also part of other people's audiences. Like I read other people's books, I watch other people's, maybe their videos, I might be in somebody's program, I might buy somebody's stuff. So understand, and I'll address every question at the end, again, everybody who came in. So if you post it, I'll address it. But authenticity is the main thing that people want these days. They want authenticity from, especially if you want to build your brand on yourself. So if you're going to be a personal brand, or you're going to be like that person, you want to be that guy or that girl, and you want to attract an audience because of you and your personality, you must be authentic. All right. People do not want any more fake shit. We don't want any more bullshit. We don't want anybody, pretending to be something. And there are many reasons for this these days. I'm going to go through those, a few of those here today. I'm going to explain why any of you out there, if you want to put yourself out there in any way, if you want to be an author, you want to be a YouTuber, you want to be a TikToker, you want to be an Instagrammer, whatever it is you could be these days. There's probably plenty of stuff I don't even know about. If you want to be one of those things, you got to be authentic. And if people can tell that you're not real, that's going to be the main reason why you're unable to get people to stick with you. Now, some people are going to come and go because you ain't for everybody. But if you want people to stick with you, you got to be authentic. And if nobody's sticking with you, it's because you are not being your authentic self, which may mean either A, you are holding back in some way, or B, you are just doing the wrong thing in the wrong place. So you may be able to be authentic over here, but you can't be authentic over there. Like I could be authentic playing basketball, but not so much if I was swimming or trying to play tennis, because I'm not good at those things. So sometimes it's one, sometimes the other. But anyway, all that being said, I've heard people I heard somebody talking about this lately, and that's what got me thinking about it. And when I look at my stuff, I published over 15,000 pieces of content online over the last 15 years, between audio, video, and written content, over 15,000 pieces of content. Now, my most engaged content, the stuff that people like the most, the stuff that people keep coming back to, the stuff that came out 6 years ago, people still leave comments on it, or I talk to somebody and they say, what was it that most got your attention from me? And they talk about something that I did 8 years ago, is the stuff where I'm being the most authentic, the stuff where I'm giving people the real as I could possibly give it to them. And that's what I mean when I say being authentic. Well, I'm gonna explain what I mean when I say being authentic. Usually is a topic that people have come to know me for, something that I'm authentic on. If you're going to create content, your most engaged stuff is going to be where you're not being this packaged individual or trying to be perfect. It's where you basically just speak your mind, whatever your mind happens to be. So make sure you have something in your mind if you're going to start speaking it. But it's something that a lot of people don't follow on social media these days. Let's get into our points. Point number one, topic here today is what people crave: authenticity. Authenticity bleeds through the page. So there is no, people, when I say be authentic, and somebody may ask, because usually when I say do the certain things, somebody will ask, well, how do you do it? What's the step-by-step? What's the process? What's the strategy? Listen, authenticity bleeds through the page. Authenticity is you just being who you are. The real version of you, unfiltered, not holding anything back, not worried about who you might offend, not worried about who might not like it, not worried about who might have a problem with it, not worried about how somebody's going to respond to it. It's just you being whoever the hell you are. Why? Because these days, all of us have been on the internet so much, for so long, every day, every single one of you, whether you ever created anything ever in your life, if you just consume stuff, all of us have a sixth sense for bullshit. We all have it. We have a sixth sense for some bullshit. If somebody's being fake, somebody's not being real, somebody's just saying something because they think that's what the people want to hear, somebody's not really being their authentic self, you can tell. I don't care if they got big muscles, if it's a girl who took all her clothes off, if it's a guy with a nice car, if some person standing taking a picture in front of a house, and no matter what they say, if they're not being authentic, you're not going to buy into it. All right, we can see through bullshit these days. Everybody can see through bullshit. And the reason why we all can see through bullshit is because we're all on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. We're on these platforms all day, every day. And we have been trained. We basically got, now they say you need 10,000 hours to become proficient at something. All of us, we got a good few thousand, at least, hours of just looking at people's messages, looking at people's pictures, listening to people's video, watching somebody's live stream, listening to people talk. We have been conditioned to be able to tell very easily when somebody's being for real and somebody's bullshit. When somebody is honest and authentic and when somebody's being fake and just trying to say what they think you want to hear. We become fans of people. Even if you never met them, you become a fan of somebody when you see that something that they're doing or something that they're sharing is coming from the real version of whoever that person is. When you can tell they're just speaking from the heart, what they really mean, what they really believe, and how they really feel. And when somebody's faking it and trying to tell you something because they want you to hear it, you know it. Even if it sounds good, even if they're telling you what you want to hear and you appreciate that they said it, there's another part of you, there's a sixth sense that you have. Your instinct is telling you, all right, something ain't right about this guy. Something about this girl is just not landing with me, because you know that they're being fake. We have all been completely conditioned to understand this. This is why music, for example, because I'm not a musician. I do stuff like this. I write books. I make podcasts, content, things like that. And I always ask myself, how could I get, because I listen to music like all of you, and I'm like, damn, music can really touch somebody's emotions as soon as you hear a song. If it's the right song, it reminds you of a certain time or a person or a situation, and it touches the emotion. And I'm like, damn, how can somebody do that with a podcast? How can you touch somebody's emotions with a podcast the way that a song might do it? And the thing is, you just can't. All right, that's why music is music, because music it passes through the logical side of the mind, and it goes straight to the emotions. That's the great thing about music, and how you can build a huge audience and have these fans who are like diehard fanatics of you as a musician, simply because your music goes straight to people's emotions. It bypasses the logic. Whereas something like this, where I'm talking to you, or a book or a podcast, you have to listen to it. You got to think about it first. Then maybe it'll pass through to the emotion. So just a different genre, different process to get there. Point number two, we're talking authenticity here today. Listen, impersonal stuff we can get from anywhere. If I want something that's not personal, if I just want some information, I can go to Google. If I just want to hear somebody talking about the president, I can go to the New York Times. If I want to see somebody's motivational statement or motivational story, I can just go browse through captions on Instagram. All right, I can get impersonal stuff anywhere, anytime, easily. All we got to do is just go Google it. It's available to everybody at all times. But if you want something that is real, something that's going to touch your emotions, something that, if you want your content to be shared, if you want people to tell their friends about you, you want to spread by word of mouth, You got to put your own story in it. You got to put yourself into it, because that's when it becomes proprietary. For example, I've done 2 TED Talks on confidence, and I've done 2 on other things. But confidence, listen, how many people out there talk about confidence? There's people out there right now who have whole podcasts. Their whole podcast is about confidence. There's probably like 500 people with a podcast about confidence, or a YouTube channel about it, or an Instagram account that's all about confidence. There are thousands of people out there talking about confidence every single day. So why, when I talk about confidence, can it stand out? How can I make my ideas about confidence stand out when there's 1,000 other people also talking about the exact same subject? How is that possible? How can I talk about basketball and make my stuff stand out when there's 1,000 other people playing basketball, and some of them might be better than me? Some of them might have a jump higher than me or dribble faster than me. How can I make my stuff stand out when I'm not the only one on the subject? Let me tell you how you do this, because none of you, I'm 98% sure, even when you start creating content, you are not going to be the only person in the world talking about that subject. All right? You're not going to be the only person in the world talking about sports, music, fitness, motivation, whatever it is. You go on IG. I know you gentlemen, you be on IG. You see every girl on IG who's an Instagram model got a fitness product. Right? They putting out workout programs. Every girl. I see that. I'm like, how are all these girls selling workout programs? They all the same thing. How is anybody going to stand out? Let me tell you how you stand out. So if there's any Instagram models watching this, or aspiring IG models, or any of you guys, your girl wants to be an IG model, let me tell you how you make yourself stand out when you got the same product, the same offer that everybody else has. Here's how you do it. You must put your authentic self into it. You got to take some of your own story, your own life, and you got to put it into your offering. If you don't take your own story, your own life, and put it into your offering, then why do we need you? That's a trick question. We don't need you, because we can get the same thing from anybody else. If I want to get a booty blaster program, there's 1,000 different women that's selling that on IG that I can get it from. So why would I get it from her or her when I can get it from any one of these other people out there? The reason why is I connect with her story. Or I like the fact that she keeps it real. Or I like the fact that she talked about how she used to have weight problems, or how she used to be fat, now she's skinny, or how she used to be bulimic, making herself throw up, but now she has she feels good about her body now, or how she got dumped by this guy, he broke her heart, and I went through that, so now I can feel that, I relate to that. That's the thing that allows people to connect with you, is when you take your personal story and you mix it in with the value that you want to give to other people. So the story is cool, yes, tell your story, but also give people some value, because the story is just entertainment. Like, it's like watching a movie. Or the movie is cool, but when the movie's over, there's nothing I can do with the movie. Now, what you want to do is mix both in. They call it edutainment. So it's like education and entertainment at the same time. So give people the story that allows them to connect with you and relate to you, but at the same time, you got to give them some value, something that will allow them to go out and create their own story, so that now then, 5 years from now, they could be the one building the audience, and they can say you're the one who inspired them to do it. But you got to take some of your own life and put it into what you're doing. If you're not willing to do that, then how can you be authentic? You can't be authentic if you're not taking any of yourself and putting it into what you're doing, because then you're just packaged. You're just giving some information. Or you went and read a book, all right, now you're going to take a chapter out the book and you're going to talk about it on your IG. Well, shit, I could just go get the book that you stole it from, and I can get the information straight from them. Why do I need to get it from you if you're not going to give me any of you? So the key point here, number 2, is that you have to take some of your own life and put it into your information. You have to mix it in, because otherwise, information is easy to get, ladies and gentlemen. We get information anywhere from anybody. It's a commodity. What makes the information different, what makes the information sticky, is when you can mix your own story in with it, so that nobody can copy that. Nobody can copy the story that I tell, that I was playing ball and I didn't make my high school team to my senior year. That's part of my story. Nobody can just copy that and say that's what happened to them, or they'd be lying. Or that then I walked on at a D3 and then I was able to play overseas 9 years after that. Like, that's my story. Now, I'm not the only person to do a dribbling drill. I'm not the only person who can dunk. Anybody can do that. You can learn that from anybody. But when you hear the story, then you're like, oh, well, I can relate to that, so I'm going to get it from him. That's what makes you stand out when it comes to being authentic. Point number 3, we're talking today authenticity, for those who came in the middle, and I'm going to answer questions at the end when I get done here. We crave authenticity because so many people are anything but. I mean, y'all be on the internet. Y'all on the internet right now. How much fake shit do you see on the internet every single day? How many times do you see somebody, you know them in person, and you know their life is one way, but then you see them on the internet, and they're living a completely different life based on their Instagram posts? How many times do you see somebody with a promoted story or a promoted post, and they're just trying to sell you something, but they're not really offering, it's not really connecting with you. You see it, and you just gloss right over it. You don't even remember 90% of the advertisements you see every day. You don't remember any of them. Why is this? is because there's so much fake shit out here these days that we have become immune to it. The more fake shit we see, the better our filters get for ignoring it. We ignore a lot of fake shit these days. When something authentic comes around, it catches our attention because it's so rare. We never see anything authentic. So when you finally see it, you're like, wow, finally something authentic. There's so much prepackaged stuff these days. And the reason why things are so prepackaged, let me tell you why. And some of it is as consumers, some of it is our fault. Because these days, if you share too much of yourself, if you're too honest, then you're going to piss somebody off. You're going to offend somebody. Somebody's going to get mad at you. Somebody is going to attack you. Somebody's going to make a post about you. Somebody's going to take something you said out of context and try to use it against you. This will happen, when you're being your authentic self. Why is this? Because every one of us has all different sides to us. None of us is all perfect. None of us is all terrible. So when you share something about you that is your reality, your truth, there's someone out there who, when they hear it, it makes them feel terrible because it reminds them of the worst version of themselves, or reminds them of something about them that they don't like. It has nothing to do with you, but you said it, so they're gonna be mad at you for it. And the reason why that matters is that a lot of people hold themselves back and don't say what's authentic to them because they are, in the back of their mind, unconsciously worried or afraid of saying something that's going to offend people, because the last thing they want is to have 20 people on their latest IG posts leaving negative comments, or 20 people replying them, or have somebody take something that you said out of context from 5 years ago and post it on their page and try to get their fans to bash you. A lot of people are so afraid of that they never say what's real to them. Therefore, you can't be authentic. Therefore, you can't attract an audience to yourself. Therefore, you wonder why you have ideas and all these things you want to do, but you can't get anybody to connect with it because you are concerned with drawing the ire of the internet lynch mob. And the lynch mob might not be the whole internet. It might be 5 people. You might offend 5 people, but you're so worried about those 5 people talking shit about you that you won't say anything. Or it could be one person. It could be nobody. You're just worried that they might say something. Nobody's going to say anything, but you never put it out because you're concerned somebody might get mad. So there's so much prepackaged shit out here these days because all these people that you see who never say anything that offends anybody, everything they say just seems to be so perfect and nice and neat and safe, is because they're afraid of saying what's real. Because if they said what's real, somebody's going to get mad. Listen, I've been on the internet for, like I said, 15 years publishing content. I done pissed off a lot of people. A lot of people done got mad at me for something that I said either directly to them, something that I just said out loud and they heard it, something that I might have said that just related to their situation, something that maybe a question that I answered, maybe a topic that I talked about, and they just got mad about it because they just didn't like what I said or how I said it, or who knows? People get mad about anything. Now, y'all on the internet, y'all see people get mad about all kind of shit every single day. But if you're afraid of people getting mad at something that you're going to say, you're not going to say anything. And that's a problem because now you can't get anyone to connect with you if you don't talk and if you don't be real and share exactly what you are. So that's why you got so much prepackaged shit these days. And we all have feelings, right? Even if we don't show them. So when someone else shows their feelings, someone else shows how they really feel and they're really putting themselves out there, what happens? We connect with it. We like, damn, finally somebody being real. Finally somebody being honest. Finally somebody saying what they really mean. Somebody really just saying what I'm thinking. I don't want to say it, but they said it, so I fuck with them because they finally said what I've been thinking, but I ain't seen nobody saying it. All right, this is where the void is at. All right, this is the wide open lane, ladies and gentlemen. So any of y'all out here who ever if you ever got ideas of becoming a creator, or you want to write a book, you want to do a podcast, you want to be a speaker, you want to be a coach, you want to have a community. And if you want to do that, understand what you need to do is identify what are some thoughts that you believe a whole bunch of other people are thinking, but nobody's saying it, and you say it. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen when you do that. I got to tell you the good and the bad, so don't just go run and do this without knowing everything, okay? First of all, the people who are believing the same thing that you finally said, they're thinking it, but you're the one who said it, they're going to connect with you. They're going to be like, damn, finally somebody said it. Somebody finally did that. Now, you got to keep doing it so that they can see you're for real and they'll connect with you. You keep doing it consistently. Now, let me tell you the other thing that's going to happen. All right, don't just take the half of it. You gotta get all of it. Okay, here's the other side of it. When you say the thing that everybody's thinking, but nobody's saying it, there's a reason why nobody's saying it. The reason why nobody's saying it because people are afraid of saying it because they know that some people ain't gonna like that you said it. So when you say it, some people are gonna get mad. All right, some people are going to attack you. Some people are gonna come at you for saying what was already on their mind, what was already on the minds of other people. So if you're willing to deal with that, then you can put yourself out there. But if you ain't willing to deal with the backlash, Don't say it. Now, I talked about, well, there are plenty of people out here. You can look at our president, Trump. Now, whether you like Trump or don't like Trump is not the point. This is not about supporting him or bashing him, what I'm about to say. But Donald Trump came out in 2016, and he said some things that a bunch of people were thinking, and that's why they voted for him. Now, again, whether you agree with what he said or not is not the point. He said some things that a bunch of people agreed with, and that's how he became president. Now, we don't know what's going to happen this time around, but the guy has fans. You know why Donald Trump got so many fans? Not because they're the people out, because they're racist or because they're white supremacists, whatever. The reason he has fans is because he took what was in their heads and he said it out loud. That's why they bought into him, period. Anybody you know who has fans, that's what they did. You name any person who has fans, I guarantee you this is what they did. They took what was in other people's heads and they said it out loud, and they were willing to deal with the backlash that came with it. That's how they got fans. Any person you can name, they did this. All that being said, I'm going to tell you how you can get these books right here in front of me. I'm going to recap my points and I'm going to answer questions. So if you got a question, go ahead and post it in the comment section right now. So this book right here is called The Mirror of Motivation. I've written 27 books. This is the book you should read first. Why should you read this book first? First of all, because I made it free. All you got to do is go to mirrorofmotivation.com. Y'all see that link. Periscope, Facebook, Instagram. Y'all see the link. Mirrorofmotivation.com. The book is already paid for. All you do is cover a small shipping charge. We'll ship this to you worldwide, anywhere you are. But let me tell you what you want to get in the book. Before you go do it, let me tell you what you want to get inside this book. Everyone who's listening to this, if you listen to everything that I just said, I want to assume you have some goals. You at least got one goal in life. Something you wish to do, achieve, something you want to have, something you want to feel. Everybody here has goals, right? Okay. Now, you also understand that you listen to a guy that has a hat on that says, work on your game, you're willing to do the work. All right, you're willing to put the effort in to get what you want. I'm going to assume that that's true also. So everybody here has at least one goal, and you're willing to work. All right, you understand you got to work to reach your goals. All right, anybody disagree with that? Great. Now, here's the part that you may not know. The reason why you can work really hard all your life and have goals and still not achieve them is because, let me tell you why. You never ask yourself this question. Let me tell you the question. The question is, who do I need to be? Who do I need to be? This book will give you the frameworks for answering that question. What type of person do I need to be? What kind of energy do I need to have? How do I need to walk into a room? What do I need to see when I look in the mirror? What do you see when you look in the mirror every day? When that changes, your actions will change. And when your actions change, your results change. So if you're ready to get different results in life through different actions, through changing what you see when you look in the mirror, changing your self-identity, your self-image, that's when life is going to change for you. The way that you do that is through the frameworks laid out in this book called The Mirror of Motivation. The subtitle is The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. You get this book by going to mirrorofmotivation.com. Yes, it is the physical book. I'm not talking about a PDF. The physical book, we will ship this to your doorstep. All you do is cover a small shipping charge. Again, mirrorofmotivation.com. On the next page, after you get that, I'm going to make you an offer to get my book, Work on Your Game. It's a hardcover book, 250 pages at the request of my publisher to take all the whole Work on Your Game philosophy and condense it down to 250 pages. I could have made this book 2,000 pages, but it's 250 to make it easy for everybody to read. 12 chapters. Every aspect of the Work on Your Game philosophy is covered in this book. I'm going to tell you what each of the 12 chapters is in this book. Cardio for the mind, the third day and beyond, the super you, eliminate self-confidence and performance anxiety. What are you afraid of? Mental toughness, go-getter, selling yourself, your interpersonal game, mentorship, bad mental errors that good people make, and do not live by the book. These are the 12 chapters of the book, Work on Your Game. I'm holding this up to the screen so all y'all can see it so you know I'm not making this up. These are the chapters of the book, Work on Your Game. All right, you can get this book on the very next page. After you claim your free copy of The Mirror of Motivation, on the very next page, we automatically take you to this page. You can get this. So all you got to do is go to mirrorofmotivation.com. We handle all the rest, all right? We professionals over here at Work on Your Game Incorporated. We know what the hell we're doing. All that being said, I'm going to recap these points. If you got a question, post it right now because I'm about to answer them. What people crave in the world today, authenticity. Number one, authenticity bleeds through the page. We can tell when somebody's being real. There is no how-to being real. Being real is just being who you are without worrying about what other people think or what somebody else might say. Number two, we can get anything impersonal from anywhere. If I want information, I'll go to Google. If I want some data, I'll go to the library. I'll go to Wikipedia. If I want some realness, I gotta go to a person who's willing to be real. And it ain't too many of them. Number three, we crave authenticity because so many people are so fake. There's so much fake shit out here these days. And the reason why so much shit is fake is because everybody's afraid of saying something that will offend other people. I don't have that fear. There's a bunch of other people out there who don't have that fear. The president of the United States, he doesn't have that fear. He says what people are thinking. Not everybody's thinking it, but the right people are, and they became his audience, and that's how he became president. Now, what's going to happen in 4 weeks? We don't know, but y'all get the point that I'm making here. So any of you who wants to put yourself out there, you got to say something that's real. It got to be coming from a real place in you. You connect that to some information. That's how you get an audience. I talk about discipline, confidence, mental toughness, personal initiative. Why do I talk about these things? Because these things are real to me. These are the things that I needed to go from failure to success. And I realized that there's other people out there who need the same thing. So when I start talking about it from a real perspective, I can tell you real stories from my real life of how I use those to create success. Other people are like, yo, I need that too. I fuck with that story. I connect with that story. This dude's being real. That's what makes people connect. And anybody can do this in any aspect of life, in any industry, whatever. You just got to be real about it. You got to be willing to be real and understand that some people are not going to like it, and you can't be afraid of maybe pissing somebody off because you said something that they didn't like. It's not your fault. So anyway, I'm taking questions right now. Let's see if we got any. Question is, what do I think about COVID? I mean, what about it? I mean, it's been, what is it? It's October now, started in March. What's that, 7 months? I mean, what about COVID? I mean, we all out here. KD Baller said, I wear my mask, but only when it's required. I think it's just like the flu. Well, I don't know if the flu killed as many people as COVID did, so I think it might be a little bit stronger than the flu. But as far as the mask goes, like, this is my mask. So when I go outside, if I see some cops and I put it on my face and the cops go on, I take it off. If I go into a business, you got to put it on. That's the rule for now. Ego said, I just sent this to some Instagram admin accounts. Great value in it. Admire your work. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for sending that to some accounts on Instagram. Family Page 2021. I appreciate you. Said Dre Baldwin is the best. Ego said, I turned my music down. That's what's up. Family said, how do you not get more people in the live? I don't know. That's the thing about live streaming. You got to catch people when they're on the phone. So if people not on the phone, they can't be in the live. I think that's how it works. Johnny said, what's my thoughts on network marketing? I did a podcast episode on that, Johnny D. I'm going to find the episode and I'll tell you what episode that was. But I did a podcast episode talking about network marketing. I'm not anti-network marketing, Johnny D, to give you a clue. I'm not against network marketing. I got introduced to it when I was in college. I don't do it now, but I got introduced to it. That's how I got introduced to, actually I found personal development through network marketing. So I'm not mad at network marketing. Shout out to network marketing. This is episode number 1503, masterclass number 1503, the benefits of network marketing. You see that green highlight right there? That's number 1503, the business and personal growth benefits of network marketing / multi-level marketing. So there are benefits from it if you use it the right way. Cupertino's in the house. Young Jaden was good. Mr. Vanguard, what's going on? ARB said, I feel it's hard to be authentic when presenting yourself online. I want to be a YouTuber, but I can't present myself randomly the way I would to friends and family. Well, you can grow into it. You can learn. You'll find your voice over time. So if you're a newer, you got to understand, I've been doing this for 15 years. So if you're newer, you got to put some time in. Put some time in and put your material out, and slowly as you build and you find your voice and you kind of learn how you want to say things, how you want to put yourself out there, people will catch on to it. But you gotta get that seasoning. You gotta put that time in. You gotta work on your game. Brandon says 3 is a crowd. Most people show out with a group trying to teach people to stop being fake. Yeah. Playoff Perry says skipping class to watch Dre. What class did you skip? Shout out to everybody skipping class to watch these lives. I want to know what class you skipped though. Official Johnny D, appreciate that. Brandon said, I got accused of being sexist and racist off memes that people couldn't handle. I'm the total opposite. ARB says, do you think it's okay to block haters or delete their comments, or you don't, so you don't get negativity, or is that the easy cheat route that won't help in life? No, I block motherfuckers all the time. I'll block a motherfucker quick. Somebody come in, listen, I talked about this on my story yesterday. If you put yourself out there, sometimes people are going to not like you and they'll attack you. So you have to accept that. But understand there's a difference between acceptance and tolerance. Acceptance is, I accept that some people might not like something that I say and somebody might talk some shit. That's accepting that they can do that. You can't control what other people say or do or comment. But that doesn't mean I have to tolerate it. So if you're talking shit about me and you post it in my comments, then I'm blocking you because this is my domain. All right, so if I put a video on YouTube, the comment section only exists because I posted the video. So if that video wasn't there, you couldn't leave a comment. So I own it. So if I don't want your comment on my video, then I'm blocking you, and that's it. That's not the easy way out. That's not tolerating that kind of talk, because if you allow, and I've been on YouTube for a minute, if you allow somebody to talk crazy in the comments and you either don't say anything back or you go back and forth with them, you know what's going to happen? A bunch of other motherfuckers are going to come in there talking crazy because they see that talking crazy is tolerated. That's what I've learned on YouTube. So if you let one person talk crazy, then a bunch of other people will come in and talk crazy because they see that that's the thing and they see they can get away with it. But if you block the first motherfucker talking crazy, then all the rest of them go away. Strike the shepherd and sheep will scatter. That's the way that it works. So to answer your question, ARB, hell no. I will block a motherfucker so fast they won't even know what happened. ARB said, I'm waiting for those programs. What programs you talking about? Johnny D, that's what's up. Sports Lover said, if you're a supervisor, do you have to be a son of a bitch? Sometimes. I did a master class on that as well. I believe it was called 3 Things Every CEO or Every Leader Must Be. It might have been leader. I gotta find it. But I definitely did a masterclass on that exact subject. And you can get that 3 Things Every Leader Must Be, episode number 723. See that highlighted green right there? Episode 723, 3 Things Every Leader Must Be. This, what I'm showing y'all on my phone, is my master list of every episode of my podcast that I've ever done. I call it a masterclass. I use the word podcast because y'all know what I'm talking about, but it's not a podcast, it's a masterclass. Number 723, 3 Things Every Leader Must Be. I forgot what the other 2 words, but one of them is a SOB. Those of y'all know what that means, Google it. Antonio says, how's it going? It's going great, Antonio. NDS said, do you ever think about putting your content on TikTok? From what I know about TikTok, it's like coordinated stuff, like dancing and trick shots and like funny, some kind of camera trick type things. I don't do that type of stuff. Can I put something like this on TikTok? Do people want to just hear somebody looking at the camera and talking? Does that work on TikTok? If it does, I'll post it on TikTok, but from what I know of TikTok, that's not kind of what it's for. But if somebody knows different, tell me. Johnny D, biggest lesson you took from basketball and applied to business? That's in this book right here. So go to mirrormotivation.com and let me give you full context instead of just giving you a little soundbite. Adrian says, law of association, would you be friends with someone who listens to you but is lazy and unemployed? It depends. Are they bringing more to the table or taking more off the table? That's you just assess. Are they making you better or making you worse? It's one or the other. Antonio said, my first video was titled, My Beginning of a New Start, Judge Me, Hate Me, because hate is motivating for me. That's what's up. 30 days of discipline, 25 hours. Oh yeah, ARB. Those are going to be part of our new offering. It's coming soon. Antonio said, TikTok is a good platform for business as well. For this kind of stuff, I get business. What do you mean, though? Like, if I just turn on the camera and just talk for 60 seconds like this works on TikTok? That's what I'm asking. I'm asking, does that kind of stuff work on TikTok? From what I know, I don't see that kind of content on TikTok. But if y'all know better, I don't even go on TikTok. I don't even log into TikTok. But if it does, y'all let me know. If it does, then I might start posting to TikTok. Brian on Facebook says, I appreciate you. I shared your story with my 14-year-old. He loves the 3, but doesn't love going inside. You talking about playing basketball. Any advice to get him to be more aggressive? Man, well, there's a lot of different directions you could go with that, Brian. It's hard to just say generally because I don't know your child. But show him players that he likes. Show him how those players go to the basket. Show him the NBA Finals. Show him Jimmy Butler getting 14 free throw attempts in Game 3. That's the only reason they won the game, because he kept going to the hole. Stuff like that. Let him understand that. Show him Steph Curry going to the hole. Steph Curry, the best three-point shooter out there, going to the hole. Show him Kobe, Michael Jordan, going to the hole and getting fouled, or whoever he likes. He might not even know Michael Jordan, but he only 14. He definitely don't know Michael Jordan. Show him somebody these days going to the hole. Show him James Harden shooting 10 free throws a game. Show him players that he looks up to, that he likes. Show him those players going to the hole to understand that that's how you balance out your shooting with the driving. So if the defense knows you only do one of them, then they can play you for that one thing. Like I talked about with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler don't want to shoot a jump shot, so while the Lakers were switching screens as if he was about to pull up for 3, makes no sense in Game 3. But Steph Curry, if you play him too close, he'll go by you and get to the hole. And if you back up, he'll hit the 3 on you. James Harden, same thing. So the balance of the game. You got to be able to do more than one thing because your team might need you to get to the hole. You might not be making your threes. So that's what I would explain to your 14-year-old. Let's see. Let's see. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more questions. I'm going to do these lives consistently. I just didn't do lives for like a week because we working on new offerings coming out soon. Brandon said, would I say Skip Bayless is authentic or undisputed? I don't know. I don't know Skip Bayless, so it's hard for me to say, Brandon. But I think he does a good job of selling it. I think he has sold the public on the fact that he really does believe the things that he says. Stephen A. Smith says that Skip Bayless really does believe the things that he says. So if he is faking, he's a great actor. If Skip Bayless is faking, he should go work in Hollywood. He'll make even more money than they paying him at Fox. But I think he really does believe it because, it works for him. Sports Lover says, the book on bad behaviors, beliefs, and habits. That would be the mental workbook, which you can get along with this book on the second page where you go to mirrormotivation.com. So when you claim your free copy of this book, on the next page we're going to offer you this and another book. It's called the Mental Workbook. That's that book. Sports Lover. NDS says, people can get 500,000 views from saying they don't like Black Lives Matter on TikTok. All right. I don't know if that's enough to get me to get on TikTok, though. ARB says, do you think COVID has affected working your game negatively? I feel bad because businesses I love are closing down. I pray that working the game stays going strong. No, because we're not a brick and mortar business, so COVID didn't really affect us because this is what I do. I'm on the internet, so no, COVID didn't really affect us. COVID affected businesses where people had to come into business and they shut it down, like a bar, a restaurant, a gym, businesses like that. A lot of those have shut down. So I think that's what you're talking about, but not like internet businesses actually did better because everybody's in the house. Nobody want to go outside, or at least now people are outside. But like March, April, May, it was like a ghost town out this bitch. So the internet was the perfect place to be at that time. So people who had their shit together, it was a great opportunity. So no, working the game is not really affected by COVID, luckily. So everybody, that's the last. I ain't taking no more questions here today, but I will do these lives consistently. Most of y'all know that I do these lives all the time. I just didn't do them for about a week because we're working on new offerings. Still not ready, but it's coming soon. Mirrorofmotivation.com, everybody. This is the book that you should start with. If you never purchased any of my products, if you like what you just heard, get this book. The book is already paid for. I'm giving you the book free. All you do is cover the shipping. We will ship this book to you worldwide. Doesn't matter where you live. We got airplanes, stamps, envelopes, UPS accounts, all that. Mirrorofmotivation.com. Get this book. Claim your free copy. We watching the NBA Finals tonight. I usually tweet. I tweet about the games. My Twitter is @DreAllDay. So if y'all want to engage with me on Twitter during the game, it's @DreAllDay. I will be tweeting about the game tonight, and the next game is on Friday. So that's that. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Stay at least 6 feet apart. And wear your mask when you go into a business. That's the rule. Work on your game. We out here.